afternoon. At 7 o'clock this morning, I received a call from York City Police Chief Troy Bankert informing me that one of our officers, Officer Kyle Pitts, a 10-year veteran of the York City Police Department, had been injured during an incident in Harrisburg. About an hour later, I was informed that as part of that encounter, a United States Deputy Marshal, Christopher Hill, had been killed in action. I send my deepest condolences to Marshal Hill's family and colleagues. Officer Pitts is currently undergoing surgery at a Harrisburg area hospital. He is being treated for non-life-threatening injuries, and we are thankful for that. We stand behind our officers and behind Officer Pitts and are ready to assist him and his family with anything they need to get through this difficult time. I thank Officer Pitts for his many years of service to the people of York City and Central Pennsylvania. Before I pass it off to Chief Bankert, who will provide more details related to the incident this morning, I also wanted to thank the many folks in our community who called me this morning with their concerns regarding the well-being of our police officers. I also wanted to thank those that have reached out to me in support of the York City Police Department, including United States Senator Bob Casey. Chief Bankert.
At approximately 6:30 this morning, Officer Kyle Pitts, along with other officers and partners with the Fugitive Task Force with the United States Marshal Service, went to the 1800 block of Mulberry Street in Harrisburg to execute a body warrant, a warrant for an individual at that address. They had made contact with that person, they had arrested that person. While searching the remainder of that building, a second person began shooting upon the officers. The result of that shooting is that Officer Kyle Pitts was shot one time, and as the mayor had stated, he is still undergoing surgery, is non-life-threatening at this point. Another person of that partnership, an officer or Deputy Marshal Christopher Hill, was fatally wounded during that encounter. Christopher Hill, although not part of our police department, is not new to us. He works very closely with these with the other partners. We know him intimately. The loss of him is felt upon this police department quite a bit, and our condolences go out to him and his family, and that includes the family of our extended family of the Marshal Service. The Marshal Service itself, to explain our relationship, is that the Marshal Service, and they have an office here in the city where it's a partnership of municipalities. So we have dangerous persons that we target. We refer to them often as chronic offenders, but 3 to 5% of the population is really committing most of these violent crimes. So we target those people. Without the resources of the United States Marshal Service, we wouldn't be able to do this. So as a partnership, we have an officer, which is Kyle Pitts, with that unit, and they will execute warrants inside and outside of the city. Because the theory is that just because one person may be in Harrisburg, that's not that far away that they can't come here and commit violent crimes. The execution of those warrants are for dangerous persons. Officer Kyle Pitts is a 10-year veteran of our police department. He's married. He has 3 daughters. We support him completely and the family. Officer of Deputy Christopher Hill. That support comes directly from the mayor's office, this police department, and our local fraternal order of police. I'll take any questions. Ed?
Chief, did you have any personal interaction with Officer Pitts at the incident? If you did, can you tell us what you did?
I was not. That's the first place I went to this morning. As I was driving up, I was making the appropriate phone calls and the appropriate notifications. He was in surgery at that time. I expect to see him tomorrow. I don't expect to go up there today and see him. I'm giving that to his family. I'm not going to try to push into that. So I'm hopefully get to speak with him tomorrow. However, we have several officers up there just waiting just for anything that he and his family may need. We're all in with what they may need.
Steve, can you tell us?
Speak up, Ed. I can't hear you.
Can you tell us what part of his body was he wounded?
It was his right elbow.
Right elbow.
He would say what kind of person he was like, and also how he was like as an officer.
He's been with that unit for 2 years, and I'll tell you, he loves it. He just absolutely loves it. He was very grateful when put into that position. He's thoughtful, he's kind. He's one of the best officers that we've had here. I don't want to get into too much of a personal realm of his, because we're trying to give the family as much respect and privacy as possible, but very well liked. I don't know of anybody who doesn't like Kyle Pitts.
Chief, was he a patrol officer? Did he have a specific assignment with the York Police Department?
Yeah, his rank would be police officer, and he was assigned to the task force for the last 2 years.
Can you talk about the other positions he's held over the years in the police department?
He was a patrolman and a field training officer.
He's received awards too, correct?
Multiple.
Can you talk about those?
Of course, he's received awards for Chief's commendations, letter of commendations, and their variety of investigatory and bravery.
Deputy Mill also from York County.
I believe he is. I don't know exactly his address. We had a press conference earlier today, and they had mentioned that specifically, and they didn't know exactly where he was from, but I think he is from York County specifically. I do not know.
Exactly, is your department going to do for him and his family moving forward?
Well, first thing to do is any type of immediate support for that family. We've had sick and injured officers before. Sometimes it's just providing meals, and sometimes it's just listening to what they have to say for the day. Just knowing that we're there, the time off that they may need, the other services, medical services obviously are already provided for them. But it's basically just support of listening to them. At some point, we're going to have a debriefing with that officer and the other officers, and the federal agencies will likely help in providing that as a unit. So we have a psychological issue of debriefing, and we will continue with that as the years go on. We revisit that to have to give that support. But the support specifically is based upon the needs. So at this point, his needs are obviously medical, and then making sure that his family is taken care of, and that's what we do.
Chief, did the doctors at Hershey convey to you the gentleman's condition?
What's that?
This medical condition, Judge.
Who?
The officer said this is medical condition.
Do they know his medical?
Yeah, did they say he was like stable, satisfactory, fair?
I didn't get that. He's in surgery, and it was a non-life threatening wound. That's about it. The one thing I don't think I did mention is that when the assailant, the person who was shooting at the officer, ran out, he was killed. Did I mention that part? Good.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.